So this is a hard subject to talk about, but I'm sure a lot of you are going through it, where you have to choose yourself first over everybody in your family, your life, in order to recover, right? And it's a hard choice to make, but you have to do it. It's just like, the old saying where, when you're in a airplane and it's going to go down, put the oxygen mask on yourself first before you put it on your kids. Well, that's what I had to do with my life. And I had to do that, in the beginning it was hard because I felt guilty, because I'm like, well, I'm not being a father, I'm not being a husband. When you become like an anchor in somebody else's life, and your parents, your wife's, your child's life, you feel guilty and horrible that that they have to go through this. And then you also deal with people, and you find out who your friends are during this time too, who will knock you down when you're at your worst. You're hitting rock bottom, right? You're rock bottom. You find out who your friends are, because they're knocking you while you're on the ground. They're kicking you while you're down. And some people are enjoying this. But you're too weak to fight back. You're too weak to set things straight. You're too weak to give them a piece of your mind. You just let it float by. You're just like, whatever. And then they think that justifies that what they said was correct. See? Yeah, well, yeah. See? No, he needs to, right? Or she needs to. This is, well, and then, right? And then it upsets you. It makes you so angry. It makes you so sad. And it makes you realize who these friends really are, that they're not your friends. Or how family members let you down. And then you find out who you can count on, right? And then you really, really appreciate them, and you really want to give back, and you really, you feel bad that they keep being there for you over and over again. You're like, man, this person is so solid. This is you change everything changes. Your perspective changes about people really quickly. But you can't. You're too weak to, the people that kick you while you're down. You're too weak to deal with it, so you just let it go. You just allow it to be there because you got other things to worry about. You got your recovery. You got to get yourself back. But you don't forget. Oh, no. You put it in the back. You're like, I'll come back to you another time. But you know what? I felt the feelings. I felt upset. I allowed myself to feel upset. But then I said, okay, I got to move on. It's a little blurry, but I think it's worth being blurry. Let's see if I put this light on. Ha! Right? And let me tell you, put it on the shelf, concentrate on your recovery. And I had to make a choice. I'm like, okay. And I felt guilty about it. I'm like, I was telling my daughter, I know I'm not a good dad right now. I'm not there for you. Just give me some time. And I gotta take care of me. I gotta do me right now, just so that I can be there for you in the future. Because if I don't do me right now, I'll always be in a state where I won't be able to be a father. And same thing with my wife, right? I had to be selfish and worry about me first, right? I couldn't be too worried about how neglectful I was, or that I wasn't there for her as much as a husband should. Same thing with my mom and my dad. My parents, they supported me, and they everybody supported, like my family, my daughter, my wife, my parents, and my brother. So I was very grateful for that. But I had to make a choice and go, you know what? I got to put that oxygen over myself and take care of me. And I did. I did that for 1.5, 2 years, right? I just put everything on the shelf, and I was doing the methods. I was every day. It was like my 9 to 5. This was my full-time job. And I became the most important thing in my life. I had to work on myself and do everything possible. And of course, my relationship suffered over it. I felt guilty because I didn't know what was really happening with my daughter's life as much. And I couldn't be there to help her with difficult things, with being a teenager. Sure, those things took a toll. They took a toll. But it was still worth it because I was able to recover and I was able to be there. The 2 years was a hit. I took a 2-year hit so that I could be able to thrive for the next 50 years of my daughter and wife's and parents' lives, and brother, right? And friends and work and everything. So you have to make that choice, and you will feel guilty about it, but you're doing the right thing. You're doing what you have to do. And it sucks. This sucks. It's a decision you have to make, but you have to pick yourself first. You have to be selfish and get better. Stay on the path, because it's worth it. If you're going to be selfish, it's worth it because you're picking the right program. The program is worth it. The path is right. You stay on the path. Don't worry, it's worth it. I know this is going to be worth it, and this is the way. This is the way. This is the root issue. I'm doing the right things, so you can feel confident in that. So make it worth it, right? You got to make those sacrifices, and other people are going to feel it, and you're going to feel it. You're going to feel guilty, but you got to do it. And when you recover, not if, when you recover, we know, we see the light at the end of the tunnel. There's a tunnel, you're in the tunnel. You're in the tunnel. When you reach the door to the outside world, birds are chirping, everything's beautiful, then you're going to look back and see all the clarity, right? When you're there for your daughter, when you're there for your wife and your family, then you're going to become the better husband, the best husband that you never thought you could be, the best father, friend, son that you weren't able to be before you were sick, before when you took things for granted and you were just floating through life. Now you're enjoying all the little things, enjoying all the deliciousness of the small things in life that you never cared about before. So it's powerful because now you're really absorbing life in all the avenues. Everything gets tasty, right? You're savoring all the little flavors of, doing things with your daughter, going to volleyball practice, and, seeing her happy with getting her license, or your wife supporting her with the things that you couldn't support her before because you weren't able to. Now you're doing things. Now you're going to work functions. Now you're talking with her coworkers or friends, and now you're engaging with your parents like a normal person, having a beer with your dad, talking stupid shit. And now you're engaging with old buddies, and now you're just deciding that you want to do things because you want to, not because you have to, right? You decide, you know what? Do I want that friend in my life anymore? I'm cutting them out. Not because I have to. Not because they will make me sick. No, because I want to. And you start doing things because you want to. Because you know what you're around, you become, right? So you take that serious. And you start to guard your new life. And you guard that energy because it's precious. You've become precious. You don't want to waste it. You don't want to waste the time that you're spending being happy without symptoms with your daughter, your wife, your parents, your loved ones. And the new friends that you make, because you start reaching out with people that are more vibrating on your level, right? You're more with people that are successful, that are supporting you, that don't kick you when you're down. That when you're down, they lift you up and they go, don't worry, man, I feel you. I understand what you're going through. I'm there for you. Right? You're marinating in with people that really help you dial in that frequency that brings you that happiness. It's so important. And you really notice the difference, the contrast of, oh man, I can't believe what I used to be in before, the friends I used to have. And the thing is, you didn't know how bad it was before because you normalized everything. You were desensitized. You were just floating through life. You know, it was past denial. This is normal. Yeah, I'm happy. My idiot friends or shithead friends that want the bad for me, they're good. They're cool guys. Yeah, we go back, right? And then when you get to, you know, you have some of the friends that were always there for you. And then you really, really appreciate them. Or people that were helping you or your family members, you really appreciate them. But now that you have these new friends that treat you well and they're vibrating on the same level, co-workers, you got new co-workers, your new work environment. I have my own business now, right? It's a totally different environment than I was when I was working at a nursing home. It was a toxic environment. It was a union environment. Co-workers backstab each other. Bosses were not my favorites. Toxic environment. And now I'm happy doing what I do and I'm in control. I'm the boss. Totally different world. So this relates to work, family, relationships, friendships, like the whole thing. It's really important. And the thing is, you know, you change your friends, you change your mental diet, and you remember the times that certain people hurt you when you were down. And this is where karma comes in, injustice, right? As long as you allow that energy to come through you, feel it, get angry, let it go and engage on something positive, you will notice that things will always work out in your life. That you made the right choice not to ruminate in it and get angry and, you know, handle situations like you used to. Instead, you're handling situations, hard situations, different. Toxic people, you're handling them differently. Instead of fighting back and ruminating and stirring up the pot with the resistance, you're allowing it to float through the back door, and you're still being persistent in the right energy that you need. And you're building on that and creating leverage, and you're really dialing in that frequency. And then you notice that, man, everything's working out for me. I'm getting justice. Finally, all these years I was a loser. I was never going to amount to shit, and everybody thought of me as a loser. Everybody thought of me, oh, he's just going to do nothing. He's always broke. He's always, you know, wasting his life, gonna drink. He's a loser. He's, right? That's changing now. And you never had the confidence in you. You never thought, you know, I can never do this. I can never do that. I was always a failure. I always thought of myself as a person that would never succeed in anything I did. And then I recovered from the hardest thing that many people are told that you'll never recover from. I overcame this mountain, right? Multiple chronic illnesses. Not just like, how was I thinking that me, this guy, was going to overcome IBS? But I did. Colitis, but I did. OCD, looping thoughts, PTSD, anxiety. Me. One of them. Just one of those things we were told. We're told that, well, get used to it. You'll never overcome it. What makes you so special? And 99% of the people that you're around, because you become what you surround yourself with. These Facebook groups, all these things tell you, dude, you're never going to recover from. That's not something you recover from. That's something that you just deal with and cope and manage, right? So the anxiety world is like that. The ulcerative colitis world is like that. How would I ever think? Dude, what makes you think? This is where the OCD comes in. And this is where the reality around you comes in too, and it tells you, what makes you think that you're going to recover from and be cured, by the way, from ulcerative colitis, an autoimmune issue? You? When all these other people are suffering and they don't recover? I don't think you ever knew anybody that recovered from ulcerative colitis. That wasn't because that was not cured because they were on a special diet. I don't think you knew anybody. Oh no, I didn't. And if I would have, at that time, when I asked myself that question, it just, the doubt was even stronger. Right? People don't recover from IBS, ulcerative colitis, anxiety, panic attacks, PTSD. Like, people cope and manage. That's what I was told, right? And one symptom people don't recover from, let alone 70. I was dealing with 70 symptoms plus food sensitivities. So multiply one hopeless thought times 70. And I thought, this is the kind of resistance I was dealing with. Like, this is this bullshit that I'm trying to dial in the right frequency, and it's going, no, motherfucker, no. Times 70. How in the world, what made me think that I was able to recover from chronic illnesses? What? And you know what? I really believed that I would. Even though I had this Mount Everest amount of doubt and facts that was screaming in my face, the OCD loops were just showing me proof. And all the research that I did throughout the years was coming back to haunt me and going, no, but look at this research. Oh, look at this. Look at the stats. Look at this. That was definitely an uphill. Not uphill like this. Like straight up. Like almost down. That's how much up it was. It was down. And I knew I was going to recover. And look at me. I'm recovered from all these symptoms that supposedly individually you can't recover from. You can't heal. That doesn't make any sense. You have to be on medication. Right? All the mental symptoms. All the physical symptoms. How many? No, you can't. Like, if you were to individually look at them, the world individually says that every one of these you will not recover from. And I was convinced I would recover from all of them. I must have been crazy. Well, thank fuck for that, because I'm recovered and I did it. I fucking did it. Look at me. And that's going to happen to you too. You're going to recover. You're going to overcome these obstacles. I'm showing you the key and how to fucking do it. So congratulations. You're doing the work. You're going to be doing that too. You're going to be recovering. Yeah, it's an uphill battle. But you know what? You will still gain leverage. And you will get justice. Not just with your health, but how you think. And how you're going to start winning. Karma's going to start helping you out. And things are going to go your way. Right? And the people that wronged you, it's okay to smile when you hear that so-and-so went through so-and-so. Go. Fuck them. But then, enjoy it. Because we're human. Enjoy. Go, ha, ha, ha! But then after, you're like, oh, man, you know what? I feel bad for them. And don't feel guilty. It's okay. You're getting a little taste of justice. Right? Because you remembered what they did, or what they said, or how they hurt you. And you sift, and you chew on that deliciousness for a little bit. You're like, justice. It's good. But you know what? Now it's over. I enjoyed it. I'm going to let it go. I allowed myself to enjoy it, so I don't feel so guilty. I let it go, and now it's back to focusing on my life, right? Back to focusing on the good vibrations that I set in, the good frequencies, right? Because life's going to keep throwing me curveballs. So allow them to be. Let them do their thing. Do the methods. Do the best you can. Empty your bucket. Bring your baseline down. Turn off alarms. And keep engaging on this movie that we get to write. And it's so much easier to write it. It's so much easier to be the producer and the director and the actor when you have less resistance, when you're able to walk freely and really enjoy the deliciousness of life, right? You can really dial in that frequency of what you want. So I think I'll call this video Justice, because you are all going to get it. I promise you. Stay on the path. Do the work. It's coming.